Hey guys, so I'm here today to film, I'm not sure if it's my most disappointing products or products I regret purchasing. Probably products I regret purchasing because not all of them were disappointing in the way that they like perform, but more so just like things I don't reach for. I'm not about to put a disclaimer out about how you shouldn't get offended because you might like makeup I don't like, because like if you get mad that I don't like a foundation, I can't help you. That's a whole other issue. So subscribe to my channel. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday. I have been trying to be consistent, but I'm so bad at it. But there are two videos this week and I'm hoping for 2 next week. If you have any video ideas down below, let me know, because like there's only so many things I can do and I'm not a rich YouTuber who can try out new makeup for a video because I can't afford to buy new makeup. So yeah, leave some video ideas down below, that'd be great. But this is my makeup I regret purchasing, makeup I don't reach for, stuff that sucks kind of video. I'm gonna start with actually the one non-makeup item, which is the Kopari deodorant from Sephora. This is the coconut oil deodorant. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it on right now because I didn't put deodorant on today. And we're gonna see. It's like, I'm mostly like a powder deodorant kind of girl, and this definitely feels wet. And like, I can't use deodorant that has aluminum in it. And I feel like this was kind of expensive, probably like 20 bucks at least. I got it at the Sephora sale last year, and it just like doesn't feel good in my armpits, and it doesn't control smell, which is what I needed to do, so she's a no from me. Then we have makeup. I'm gonna go with face first because why not? I have one primer. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Primer. This one is the smoothing one, but I've also tried the hydrating one, and like I just think these primers don't do anything. And like let me start out by saying that I don't think any primer does much, if I'm being honest. But these ones in general just like are lackluster to me. The hydrating one wasn't very hydrating. This one isn't very smoothing. I just feel like for me, I don't have acne prone or oily skin, so for me personally, smoothing primers, like I want them to fix texture, but like they just feel kind of gross and silicone-y on my skin, and I don't love that, so she's a no. For foundation, I actually have a lot of foundations because I try out a lot of foundations because I'm a foundation junkie, and that makes me have a lot of shit I hate. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the Makeup Forever Revolution Stick Foundation. I don't even know what this is called. Fast Base Stick Foundation. I'm in the shade F4, which is actually a pretty decent match for me. As you can see here, that's pretty much my skin tone. It's really creamy and glides on nicely, but I did a foundation review on this and it looked fucking terrible on me. I will link the review down below if you're looking for this foundation. I mean, like, I like foundations, but I feel like it's almost like too creamy. Like you'd have to have like maybe really dry skin to wear this. I don't know. And like even just when I blend it out, like it just doesn't look good on even just my hand. So she's a no. And like I know it's super cheap, but like still not worth it. Hi BB. Come here, this cat never makes a cameo in my videos. This is Beatrix. Oh, she's fat and hard to pick up. Hi baby. What are you doing? This is B. She just likes to claw everything in my house, so let's see if she'll sit on my lap. Like a good little cat. Probably not. She's gonna knock some shit over. She just knocked that foundation off my desk. The next foundation I want to talk about is the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation. I don't know if I've talked about this before. As you can see, I've used a little bit of it in the bottom, but like every time I use this, it's just like such a hassle to make it look good. This is so dry and cakey. If you have oily skin, I've heard great things, but if you have anything other than extremely oily skin, this is gonna look disgusting on your face. I am in the shade Light 44 Cool, and it's just not a good foundation. Like in order for me to make this foundation work, I have to like mix it with a moisturizer and add a luminizer and then like perform witchcraft. So it's just not something I ever reach for. I keep it in my drawer just because like it was expensive, so I don't want to get rid of it, but like it's shit. Then I also have my Motives Custom Blend Foundation. I paid a stupid amount of money for this, so I won't get rid of it, and I called it Darla. because I got it right after my cat died. Her name was Darla, obvi. First of all, like for the price of this, it should come with a pump. This is like a really yellow toned for like what my skin is. And it just like, it's just something I don't reach for because I am a consumerist bitch and I want to reach for a brand. I'm going to put this back on my counter and see if I can use it some more, but like just straight up, I regret purchasing that for sure. And then my last two foundations. First, I have the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. If you saw my review on this video, you will know why I hate this. This is the, like, I don't even want to call it glowy. It's a greasy foundation. Like, I have normal to dry skin, and this looked greasy as fuck on me. Like, I powdered, and it still felt like I didn't powder enough. I don't know how anyone wears this foundation. I'm in the shade 10, which I believe is the lightest shade. If you have, like, your skin is the Sahara Desert, then maybe you'll like this, but I still don't see how anyone could wear this ever. It's awful. And then the next one I have is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour makeup, and the issue for me with this one is that it's too dry and cakey and mattifying on my skin. It kind of has like a satin finish, but not enough for me. So actually what I've been doing is, because these are both so expensive and I can't return them because I bought this one with that stupid Sephora $100 perk where you can't return anything, and I got this at the Shoppers Drug Mart I redeemed my Shoppers points for this like a year ago, and I liked it when I first bought it, but I think I was just lying to myself. So I mixed these two together yesterday and I didn't mind it, although it did just feel like really heavy on my skin, like I wanted it off. So I don't know, although I'm kind of feeling that about every foundation right now, so maybe I'm just like in like I'm ready for like that summery light foundation. But regardless, I want glowy skin. This is too glowy, almost greasy. This is mattifying. Neither of these worked for me. Together, I can make them both work, and I probably will just to use them up because I'm not trying to throw makeup that like I can make work, but like if I had to again, I would never repurchase them, and I regret purchasing them in the first place. Then I have two concealers to talk about. The first one is the Revolution Conceal and Define. I'm in the shade C3, which is a pretty good match for my skin actually, but this was kind of marketed as a dupe or hyped up as a dupe for Shape Tape, and the girl wishes she could be Shape Tape because she is nowhere near Shape Tape. The coverage isn't there, the finish isn't there. I already own Shape Tape, and you get so much less product in this than you do in Shape Tape, so like it's not even worth the price difference. Like this is, I believe, $8 or $9 for 0.14 ounces. Let me see. Shape Tape is like probably $20 or $25 for 0.33 fluid ounces. Yeah, 0.33 fluid ounces. So that's like 3 times. No, that's double. It's like double. So really, it works out to only being a couple dollars more for this for the same amount of product, and she's queen. She's not. And the next concealer, I feel like I'm gonna get hate for because like you're not allowed to shade Fenty Beauty on YouTube anymore or ever, because like Rihanna is a queen and like I am a Fenty Beauty whore. I love all the Fenty stuff, but my issue with the concealer is that it's not Shape Tape, and it's the just the color selection in general for Fenty Beauty has just left me so disappointed for my own personal color. It's great that they have like 50 shades in there, okay, and there's so many different skin tones, but like they forgot fair girls with pink undertones exist. This is the shade 140, which is like kind of high up in the shade range, and I believe this is supposed to have neutral undertones. And let me just show you that this is not neutral. So this is that, this is Fenty, and this is that C4 shade from Makeup Revolution, which you can see. This one's more neutral than this one. This is yellow on my under eyes. If I blend it out, it works, but I think I'm just gonna, like I've had this for like a couple months now, and I think I might just return it because like I haven't used it that often. It's not doing anything for me. I don't love it. It's just not doing anything for me. I wish they had a color that matched me, then maybe I could use it more frequently, but like Shape Tape is Shape Tape and that ain't it. Okay, and everything else is eye products. I don't buy a lot of face products in regards to blush, bronzer, highlight. Actually, I buy lots of highlights, but I've loved them all. But in regards to like highlight or in bronzer and blush, like I literally just use my same 2 things and I love them, so I have nothing to talk about. But when it comes to eyeshadow, I buy a lot of shit and I don't reach for a lot of it. So I'm gonna start with 3 cream products first. The first 2 are the Makeup Forever XL, Aqua XL paint things. These I bought at IMATS, and they are just very drying. If I put them on, I have dry lids though, just to be warned. Put them on my lids, they just look dry and crusty. This one I have gotten some use out of because I wanted a yellow one so that I could have like yellow eyeshadows and make them pop, but it's definitely more of like an orangey yellow. Like it's not the kind of yellow that I would like, more of like a more true yellow. Like you can see this one definitely has like orange undertones in it, and I want more of a true yellow, but I have gotten some use out of it. But this one I never use. I thought it would be a good eyeshadow primer. I was having trouble having my eyeshadows stick and not crease, but it's just something I don't reach for, and I find it a little bit dry and cakey on the lids, so I don't ever use it. I literally just purchased this, so I will be returning it. This is the Milk Makeup Eye Pigment in the shade, it's not even on here, it's like Hotel Lobby. This is beautiful, but, and you actually, it's probably a really good deal for how much product you get, but it's not life-changing for me. Not enough that I can, like, I have a quadrillion shimmery eyeshadows, like foiled eyeshadows, wet cream eyeshadows are really in right now, and some of my favorites are the ColourPop ones. ColourPop's, what is this? I Heart This is one of my favorites, and it has kind of more like glitter in it while also looking foiled and beautiful, so that's, I Heart This up here. I hope you can see it. And then there's also one by, hold on, Hourglass in here, the Scattered Light, that are to die for, and like just perform, like they're just so much more beautiful and eye-catching than the Milk Makeup ones. Like I think I'm just more of a glittery kind of girl, whereas that one more so looks foiled, and like to me it just wasn't worth it for what it was. It wasn't doing anything for me, and also because I have to powder my lids in order for stuff not to crease on me, it just kind of looked dry on my lids, and I just didn't love it. Oh shit. I slammed my drawer and my camera was not here for it. Okay, I am at 18% battery. I gotta fly through this. One last single eyeshadow before I get to palettes. This is the Makeup Forever Starlit Powder in shade 5. I think I thought this was gonna be more purple than it is, but like it kind of comes off like pink to me. Like, this is what it looks like here. I really don't think you guys can even see it. But like, it looks pink to me, and like, again, it's just kind of shimmery, but like it's nothing dramatic. We've just made so many like I don't want to say like improvements, I guess, in like foiled eyeshadows, glittery eyeshadows on the lids, that some of the other stuff that's just kind of shimmery just doesn't do it for me anymore. I either want it to be like metallic and foiled and glittery and gorgeous, or I don't want it at all. So that just doesn't do it for me. And I also think that like Makeup Forever is expensive, and I got this at this Forest, or at IMATS, so it wasn't that expensive, but like I never reach for it. Okay, for palettes, the first thing I have to talk about is the Jaclyn Hill Vault. This was potentially the biggest letdown of my makeup career. First of all, when I first saw that she announced the vaults, I was like, I don't need those. I'm above consumerism and it's whatever. And then she did like a reveal video and I went, oh shit, I fucking need them. Like, this palette was what I wanted. This is it. This is called Dark Magic. This green shade was everything I wanted in my life, and it's one of the biggest flops of these. The shimmers are okay, but again, we've come so far in shimmers that like some of them are hard and like crusty and hard to blend out, and they're just like not, like, if I can't, first of all, small palettes in general aren't something I reach for a lot unless like I'm gonna like, this is like, I'm either gonna do a purple look or I'm not gonna reach for this palette. Like, there wasn't really a palette that's like an everyday palette. I do not believe in warm tones. Like, I loved the idea of it, but the shades just flopped. The palettes flopped so hard. The quality wasn't there. The way that Morphe dealt with it was not okay. I did exchange my palette for another palette. I can link that video below. I did compare them, but it just let me down so fucking hard. I never reach for it. I never use it. I have 2 vaults because they sent me a second vault because I emailed them and said my first vault was shit. And while this vault is mildly better, they both suck. Just straight up. And I think that this is probably the improved one because it is better, but it's still not good. The Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, the original palette, is thebomb.com, but these just didn't live up. The quality wasn't there. Morphe didn't give a fuck. They just wanted to make money, and the way they dealt with it was shitty and just like scammy and I hated it. And that palette just did nothing for me. So, no thank you. No bueno. The next palette I want to talk about, people might kill me for. This is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. And while this may be the most beautiful palette in the history of the world, I love the design, I love the aesthetic that Kat Von D has. I'm aware she is a questionable human being, but her aesthetic is me. My issue is this palette is just laid out so awkwardly that I don't know what to do with this palette, and that makes me confused and then I don't reach for it. I've used this palette probably twice in my entire life, and I think I hated the second look I did with it because it was like too purpley. Part of me wants to depot this and then just kind of rearrange them in here, but I'm also afraid that I'm just going to shatter all the shadows and then be sad. But I don't know, it just like, it's just all over the fucking place. Again, it's supposed to look like stained glass, but there's just like no rhyme or reason. I wish like neutrals were on one side from lightest to darkest, and then like maybe brights were on the other side in like some sort of color combinations, because right now I'm just like, it doesn't inspire me, it does nothing for me, and I just don't reach for it because of that, and that's why I regret it. Not because the shadows are bad, because I do love these shadows, not because they don't perform because they're great, it's just, not because the colors suck because they're great, it's just the layout was not thought out properly for a regular consumer. So for that, I'm out. And then the last three palettes I want to talk about are the Bad Habit palettes. The one I mainly regret, I mean, I kind of regret purchasing all of them. This one is the Bad Habit Aura palette. This is a dupe for the Anastasia, I can't remember what the fuck it's called, palette, but it's the one that looks like this. I have used this maybe twice. I used it yesterday because I made myself use it yesterday, and here's the thing. I did a video review on these and I said, you know, for what they are, they're not bad. And they're not bad, but they do take more work than if you're gonna buy Anastasia shadows. I fucking love Anastasia shadows, and her shadows perform like magic. There's another cat in here now. There's her butt. So their Anastasia shadows perform beautifully, and these just aren't that. They take a lot more work, it's a lot more effort. You need to have good brushes because it's not that great. You're gonna get some patchy results sometimes, and I think that if you're on the fence about buying a palette, and like, so you're like, okay, I'll buy this $10 palette, because like I liked the Anastasia palette, but I didn't think I would use it very often, so I bought this instead, and I'm glad I didn't buy the Anastasia one, because I would much rather regret spending $10 than spending $50. Well, this might have been like 15, but like still. I don't know, it just like, some of these mattes are shit. This matte green color is so fucking chalky, which is a bummer because that's one of the shades I was the most excited about, and like, look at that swatch. Can you see how chalky that is? It's so chalky. It just like, the shimmers are nice, but the mattes kind of suck and I don't love it. And then the other two palettes I bought from them, this is the Okalon Sealure Matte Eyeshadow Palette. This is a dupe for the Lime Crime Venus palette, and I definitely would rather purchase this over Lime Crime because I refuse to support Lime Crime. I don't care if they have new ownership. Doe Deer is still making money off of Lime Crime. And that like interview they did with Jay Kissa, I felt like they were really skating around questions. And again, Doe Deer is still making money, so like they really can't, they can't phrase that any other way other than she sucks, but like she's not in charge anymore, but she's still making money off the company. So I would rather buy this than that, but like the shimmers in here just like didn't do anything for me. They were really lackluster. The mattes kind of, like these three shades here all kind of blend out to be the same color. I just, again, never reach for this palette. And the last palette is the Bad Habit Supernova palette. This is a dupe for the Lila palette by Natasha Denona, so like I would much rather, again, spend this $10 than spend money for the Natasha Denona palette, but I can tell you that I use this for the first time ever today. I've owned this for like a year. And like, it's pretty, but I will say, if you look at my lids, there is like this beautiful glitter on here, and the issue is these shimmers, again, don't do anything for me, and because of that, I took ColourPop's Paisley, which is a Super Shock shadow that's mostly just a clear base with glitter, and I layered it over top of my lid. This is kind of my trick for when shadows just aren't performing the way I want them to. And again, I'm not as mad about it, but like also like these matte shades are all kind of the same. There's not a lot going on here. There's too many shimmers, and maybe that's the same as the Lila palette. I probably wouldn't have bought the Lila palette because I love purple eyeshadows, but like I find they don't look that great on me. So, but like, yeah, I just never ever reach for this. Ever. And like the colors are pretty and all, but like, again, if they're harder to work with. You definitely get what you paid for. And if you can't afford the more expensive ones, then definitely these are good options, but just beware that they're obviously not as high quality, and I never reach for them, so I don't fully regret buying them because it made me understand that I didn't want the original palettes, whereas maybe if I bought something like this and I used it all the time, I'd be like, okay, let me get the original one that's more expensive, that's probably better quality, that I would use all the time. But for these ones, yeah. So that is everything that I regret purchasing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below some products that are like hyped up that you regret purchasing, or things in your collection that you're just like, I don't ever reach for this, why did I buy it? Because I do that a lot, as you can see. So thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.